One of the biggest privileges of being an American is the right to vote. For Bella Yan, a Chinese American and a political science student at Columbia University, she enjoys reminding people of that privilege. Now an intern at Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund, she goes to the federal court in Lower Manhattan every Friday. Her job is to pass out voter registration forms to the immigrants who just became naturalized citizens. She says people are thrilled about their new rights.
They're so willing to do it. Like, I don't think I've ever been turned down. And even like their family, like who like, oh, I never registered to vote before, but I'm a citizen. Can I do it now? So it's really rewarding because the fact that they're registered to vote means that they are one step closer to voting.
Over the last decade, the Asian American community has become one of the rising forces in New York City politics. With the election of 2 city council members, a state assemblywoman, and the city comptroller, any candidate who wants to win has to reach out to Asian American New Yorkers. And part of that driving force behind this relatively recent success is the efforts by Asian American Voters Association. Yan's internship supervisor and the organization's voting rights coordinator, Irene Zhang, says one of the biggest challenges for Asian American voters is access.
Maybe they don't know how to vote because that information isn't accessible to them, possibly not in the language that they understand. We need to ramp up our education outreach efforts in order to let them know that it's a really easy process. It's really important for the community. Here's a form, fill it out. We'll make sure that it gets processed for you.
Virginia Wang is the president of the Chinese American Voters Federation. Founded in 2004, the organization's goal is to educate community members about the importance of voting.
If you don't have enough voting, we cannot have the elected official to voice our wishes. We may not have enough benefits.
An immigrant from Hong Kong, Wang has a list of priorities when it comes to whom to vote for in elections.
First is for Chinese American or Asian Americans. Then if those non-Asian, non-Chinese candidates, if he or she listen to us and solve our problem, why not?
Meanwhile, the Korean American Voters Council has been serving the Korean community since 1996. Dong Chen Kim is the executive director and founder of the organization. His initial goal was to teach Korean Americans about the differences in the American voting system, such as voters registration, which is not required in Korea. They also have to learn to use the voting machine instead of just putting a stamp on a ballot. But Kim says the biggest problem is the lack of campaign information available in the Korean language.
Many Koreans, they want to vote, but even they don't know the candidates' names. That means, everything is by Englishes. The candidates must make the Korean languages materials.
In Flushing, Queens, home to one of the largest Chinese and Korean American communities, bilingual or even trilingual campaign posters can be seen everywhere. Grace Meng, the Chinese American State Assemblywoman representing Flushing, has worked closely with Ethnic Voters Association over the years.
Just last week, we co-sponsored with the Korean American Voters Council and the Chinese American Voters Council. We brought machines again to Flushing at the library so that people could come, touch the machine, practice with it, and see what it would be like to vote on it.
As Asian Americans continue to advance in New York City politics, those voters' associations have also gotten more sophisticated and become what many considered trusted name brands in the community. For Feeding Two Worlds, I'm Larry Tong.